Ok ragazzi, allora io do per scontato che voi abbiate rivisto, abbiate studiato la parte dei Canterbury Tales, ok? Quindi l'introduzione. E quindi vi dico, intanto vi farò la lezione in due lingue, prima in italiano e poi in inglese, in modo che possiate seguire tutti quanti. E vedete, questo è lo trovate a pagina 69 del vostro libro ed è The Merchant, ok? Quindi è nel prologo generale, vedete? From the general prologue to the Canterbury Tales. Quindi in questo brano, in questo piccolo pezzetto, il narratore, che è appunto Geoffrey Chaucer, introduce, ed è anche uno dei pellegrini, vi ricordate, no? Descrive uno degli altri pellegrini, il mercante in questo caso, ok? Quindi vedremo le caratteristiche della descrizione e dopo questa descrizione io per la prossima volta vi farò ascoltare, molto carino, vi farò vedere il video della storia che viene raccontata da questo mercante, perché vi ricordate, ognuno dei pellegrini doveva raccontare delle storie, due andando verso Canterbury e due invece ritornando verso Londra. Ovviamente sono delle storie diciamo divertenti, ok, dove c'è molta ironia, sarcasmo, presa in giro. Ok, now today we are talking about the merchant. As you can see, this is a description of one of the pilgrims, okay? The speaking voice is the one of Geoffrey Chaucer himself, because if you remember, he's one of the pilgrims going to Canterbury. And this description is the description of one of the pilgrims, a merchant, and you can find it in the general prologue, because if you remember, the Canterbury Tales has a general prologue in which the author introduces all of the different pilgrims, and then there are the stories told by the pilgrims. Okay, now let's listen to the story read by an English person.
Geoffrey Chaucer, The Merchant.
There was a merchant with a forking beard and motley dress. High on his horse he sat, upon his head a Flemish beaver hat, and on his feet daintily buckled boots. He told of his opinions and pursuits in solemn tones. He harped on his increase of capital. There should be sea police, he thought, upon the Harwich Holland ranges. He was expert at dabbling in exchanges. This estimable merchant so had set his wits to work, none knew he was in debt. He was so stately in administration, in loans and bargains and negotiation. He was an excellent fellow all the same. To tell the truth, I do not know his name.
Okay, now let's see the meaning. The merchant. Okay, there was a merchant with a forking beard. C'era un mercante con una barba biforcuta, ok? Forking, biforcuta, beard, barba. And morely dress, ok? E vestito variopinto, morely, lo vedete anche qui, variopinto, multicolore. High on his horse he sat, alto sul suo cavallo era seduto, quindi sedeva alto sul suo cavallo. Upon his head a Flemish beaver hat, ok? E sopra la sua testa un cappello fiammingo quindi un cappello fiammingo di castoro, ok? Cappello fiammingo di castoro. And on his feet daintily buckled boots, e ai suoi piedi raffinati, con raffinatezza, stivali con le fibbie, ok? He told of his opinions and pursuits, ok? Lui parlava delle sue opinioni e delle sue attività in solemn tones, con tono solenne. He harped on his increase. Lui parlava, argomentava delle sue crescite, dei suoi aumenti finanziari ovviamente, okay? Increase of capital. There should be sea police, ci dovrebbe essere la polizia del mare, marina, he thought, lui pensava, lui diceva, upon the Erwick Holland Ranges, ok? Sopra il tratto di mare, ovviamente, tra Herwick e Holland. He was expert at dabbling in exchanges. Lui era un esperto a occuparsi, dabbling in, lo vedete anche qui, dabbling in, ad occuparsi di scambi. These estimable merchant so had set his wits to work. Questo stimabile mercante aveva messo il suo ingegno al lavoro. None knew he was in debt. Ok? Nessuno sapeva però che lui era in debito. He was so steadily in administration, lui era così solenne nella sua amministrazione, in loans and bargains and negotiation, ok? Lui nei suoi prestiti e nei suoi affari, nei suoi prestiti e nelle negoziazioni, nel negoziare. He was an excellent fellow all the same, era comunque un'eccellente persona. To tell the truth, I do not know his name. A dire la verità, io non so neanche il suo nome. Ok, quindi vedete l'ironia anche che lui era uno stimabile mercante, che lui aveva messo al lavoro tutto il suo ingegno. Nessuno sapeva che lui era in debito. He was in debt. Ok? Okay, now let's see together the analysis of this short passage, okay? So you see that there are highlighted words, okay? The green highlighted words. You can see here, there are some arrows, and they refer to the details, okay? The details in this passage are realistic, okay, and concrete. Why? Because we see forking beard, or motley dress, or his hat, his had a Flemish beaver hat, okay, buckled boots, so all realistic details, including the place, Erwick Holland Ranges. So it gives a precise reference to geographical details. Okay, so here you have to write realistic and concrete details. What about the Chaucer's method? Chaucer's method of description mainly focuses upon, okay, what does it describe in this passage about the merchant? Which is the main thing he consider for the merchant? Of course, his profession, okay? So the description of Chaucer, talking about the merchant, focuses more upon profession. Then we have the merchant has, okay, what kind of personality has he got? He has got a solemn, okay, and a solemn figure, of course, and also a very strong and pretentious personality, pretenziosa, pretentious personality. So is very a very solemn person, is a very solemn figure. Okay. Let's see about the colors of the highlighted passages, of the highlighted words. Okay, we see here, we see here the first color is green. Okay, if we go back to the passage and we see the green words, forking beard, motley dress, his head a Flemish beaver hat, on his feet dandy buckled boots. Okay, you see that these are all elements of his physical appearance. Okay, so you write here physical appearance. Then you have the color pink. Okay, if you go back to pink, high on his horse he sat, in solemn tones. Okay, harped on his increase. Okay, so you can see that these are his aptitude. Okay, attitudine, il suo, come dire, il suo, la sua propensione. Okay, solemn. Okay, his increase. Okay, high on his horse he sat, è molto solenne, è molto, appunto, ha un'attitudine al comando, al controllo, no? Al dettare legge. Then you have the orange one, okay, and you see the orange words are expert, dabbling in exchanges, steadily in administration, in loans and bargains and negotiation. Okay, so these are his skills, okay, all the merchant's skills, abilità, okay. Then we have the green, okay, words, Harwich, Holland ranges, okay. These are historical details, okay. So as you remember, the Canterbury Tales introduced the innovation in literature, just because he also, Chaucer, used not only a precise place where the story is set, okay, a real geographical place, but also an historical reference. And this is the historical detail in this short passage. Then we have the pink, we can say the violet, pink, violet, red, I don't know the color, maybe violet. Now letters, okay. None knew he was in debt. To tell the truth, I do not know his name. Okay, and this is the narrator voice. So Choi's own voice. Okay. La voce del narratore, his personal point of view declared in a passage. Okay? Now, let's see about this passage. This passage is very, very simple, okay? But I give you a minute and then we check the exercise together. Okay, let's go on with the exercise number 3. Fashions, mode, colorful, colorato, profits, profitti, guadagni, middle class, classe media, la borghesia, debt, debito, Flanders, Fiandre, Flanders sono una regione, ok? Andatevi anche a vedere dove si trova. Irony, ironia, hat, cappello, beard, barba, roads, le vie, le strade, i percorsi. Okay, that's very simple because the portrait of the merchant is the first example of the rising middle class. Okay? Rising middle class, la classe media emergente, rising. And is one of the few in the general prologue in which Chaucer describes an entire outfit. Ed è una delle poche dove Chaucer descrive il completo abbigliamento. Okay? The merchant is fashionable because he's wearing a colorful cloak. Cloak è mantello, ok? A Flemish beaver hat, quindi un cappello fiammingo di castoro. He has a forked beard, quindi una barba biforcuta, all of which were current fashions at the time, tutte le quali erano, diciamo, correnti, attuali mode del tempo. He trades in furs and other clothes, ok? Lui commercia in pellicce e altri abiti, mostly from Flanders, dalle Fiandre, ok? I ask you to go and look where the Flanders are, okay? And I'll ask you during the oral test. He constantly speaks of his profits, okay? Constantly speaks of his profits, parla costantemente dei suoi profitti, parla sempre di soldi. He is concerned with making money and the military protection of trade routes. Lui è interessato, indaffarato a far soldi e diciamo interessato dal far soldi e dalla protezione militare dei viaggi, dei commerci, delle vie di commercio, trade routes. Although he seems wealthy, the merchant is actually in debt. Anche se, although, even if, although, though, he seems wealthy, anche se lui sembra benestante, ok? Wealthy è riferito alla ricchezza, ok? Healthy è riferito invece alla star bene come salute. Quindi healthy, uno che sta bene in salute, wealthy, una persona che sta bene come economicamente. The merchant is actually, in realtà, in debito, quindi ha debiti. He borrows money. Lui prende in prestito i soldi, ok? Lend money, dare in prestito i soldi. Borrow money, prendere in prestito i soldi. But is careful enough to hide the fact that he's in debt. Ma lui è abbastanza cauto, attento, da nascondere, hide, il fatto che lui è in debito. In medieval England, to be in debt was a sign of weak morals. Nell'Inghilterra medievale essere in debito era segno di scarsa, di debole moralità. Therefore, when Chaucer tells us that the merchant is an excellent fellow all the same, okay, he is using irony. Quindi quando Chaucer ci dice che alla fine del brano, vedete quando dice he was an excellent fellow all the same, lui era comunque una brava persona, is using irony, sta usando ironia, so it doesn't want to signify that he was actually a good fellow. It means the contrary, ok? Quindi usa l'ironia per significare esattamente il contrario, come se io vi dicessi non avete fatto i compiti, ma bravi. Quel ma bravi è ovviamente ironico, ok? So therefore, even if he says that he was an excellent fellow, it means exactly the contrary.